An overview example. So we're talking about manufacturing company producing a product. So before we actually dive into this question, let's look at a company. A company has financial aspect, human resource aspect, and time. It's influenced by all of this. So by default, these are all the constraints, and the one which it's a factor basically. All these are factors. So making the best use of it and getting the profit is the whole idea of a company, is it not? How to make best use of all of this. So basically this acts like constraint, and within this constraint we have to work. So the question talks about this, and they give that, okay, this what is the best possible, they ask for what is the best possible profit. So same thing can be spoken in terms of a government, right? It has financial, human, and time constraint. But in that case, in the case of government, profit is there, but more than that, benefit for the people is what they look for, and profit in some aspect. Okay, profit in terms of GDP or growth in the country's economy, things like that. So basically, if people get benefited, by default profit will automatically come into picture. So same thing can be spoken in terms of government, NGO, individuals, so on and so forth, because each of us have constraint of time and financial and our own resource, we being a resource of our own. So we have constraint of all of this. So how do you work out such scenario, right? How do you make the best of such scenario is what an overview example will show you guys. It's a small example. It's an example which comes in your 12th grade, right? So this is a 12th grade problem literally. But yes, it's not that difficult. You can see that. I'll show you why is it not difficult and how to do this. And 90% of the solution over here is part of your syllabus. The 10% is not part of your syllabus. Okay? So let's see why 12th grade is not that difficult. There are topics which are difficult, but yes, there are quite a few topics which are not. So let's look into that. Okay. To begin with, let's read the question, and as usual, let's write the given. So a manufacturing company makes two models, A and B. So we have it producing two models, A and B. Each piece of A, okay, requires 9 labor hours for fabrication. So they do something called as fabrication. I'll write fab, and this is in terms of hours. So it takes 9 hours, and 1 labor hour for finishing. To finish, to give final touch in terms of hours, it takes 1 hour. While each piece of model B requires 12 labor hours of fabrication and 3 labor hours of finishing. For fabricating and finishing, okay, this is your given. For fabricating and finishing, the maximum labor hours available are 180. See, why is this limitation there? Because we have human limitation. Humans cannot work for productively post 8 to 10 hours at the maximum. 8 hours is the best. 10 hours and beyond that, or 8 hours and more than that, we reduce our same repeated work, we go numb. So any dynamic work humans can do it, but repeated work, it's not easy. So there is a limitation. Fabrication, we have 180 hour capacity the company has. So for fabricating, the maximum hours, so I should have written this way, maximum hours for fabrication is 180 hours, and maximum hours for maximum labor hours for finishing is 30 hours. So we have this constraint. Okay, we can't go beyond this. ours. We don't have that capacity. Company does not have that capacity. Company makes a profit of rupees 8,000 on each piece of A. So with A, we have a profit of rupees 8,000 and B is rupees 12,000. Okay. How many pieces of A and Model A and Model B should be manufactured per week to realize a maximum profit? So we are looking at how many of this can be manufactured and how many of this can be manufactured to get the maximum profit. So that's the whole agenda, right? To do that, we need mathematical statement. So let's find the mathematical statement. Before we solve anything, we need the statements. This is where your practice or experience comes into picture. How can we go about? First thing is we should talk about let x be number of product A being manufactured, right? Being manufactured per week, and y for product B. Okay, so then we can write the equation. Fabrication has a limitation of 180 hours, so 9 hours per product of X plus 12 hours of per product of Y should be equal to 180. 9 hours of X and 12 hours of Y should be equal to 180. Actually less than 180 and all of that. So, but I don't want to go into that direction. It will just confuse you guys. And for this, the finishing touch and all of that, 1 hour over here and 3 hours over there, and the limitation is 30, right? And we have the profit equation. So we have 8,000 into X, or 8,000X plus 12,000Y. That's your profit equation. Okay. So to solve this or look at the different possibility, the way to go about is graphical, right? So we're looking at a graph. To plot the graph, we'll make use of our code. So we have equation 1, coefficient of X, that is A1. The first equation is, if I'm right, 9, 12 and 180. 9, 12 and minus 180, because in standard form it will transpose to negative 180, right? Left hand side if we transpose it. And other one is 1, 3 and minus 30. And yes, we have the graph. So what is that we are looking at? Let us, first thing is, yes. So we are looking at this particular scenario. Let's look at the point which concern to us. So let me put a thing, important points on the graph. So let's make a note of that. So we have 1, 2 and 3. Okay, why are this one? Why are only this? Why not something over here or over here? Why not those? To understand that, I think this is where the 10% comes into picture, right? The 10% gap is there that I can't fill it now. 2 years from now, you guys will learn it. So this point is, okay, you just have this, you have to tell these 2 points, what are the coordinates. So this is our, that's okay, that's 0 and 10, because x component is 0 on the y-axis, and this will be, can you guess, Is it 20 comma 0 or 0 comma 20? It is 20 comma 0. And this point is around, it's not around, it is 12 comma 6, the exact value. And that's your solution of both these lines. That is the common solution, is it not? Solution for pair of equation means this point. And this is what your syllabus talks about, finding this point. Okay. So this is how it links to your syllabus. So now we have 3 points for concern. So points which we are considering, and at this 3 points, see, these are nothing but two equations, is it not? Equation 1 is represented by this, and equation 2 is represented by this. So both the equations are showing different behavior. So the best possible outcome will be amongst these 3 points. Okay, that's the whole idea, right? So we have to figure out, with these 3 points, we have to figure out the best possible outcome. So to do that, what we can do is, see, each of this is your x and y. That is x being your product A, number of product A being manufactured, and y being your number of product B being manufactured per week. So the maximum profit amongst this will be the best possible scenario, right? Make sense? So now let's calculate. Okay, finding best possible scenario. So for that, we need to start with for x being equal to 0, y being equal to 10. So we're looking at a profit of 0 into 8,000 plus 10 into 12,000. So we have, this is 1,20,000. Okay, if we manufacture 0 of this and 10 of this in a week, we get a profit of, the company gets a profit of 1,20,000. For x being equal to 12 and y is equal to 6, the profit we will make is, the company will make is 12,000 into 12 into 8,000 plus 6 into 12,000. So common is 12,000 and 8 plus 4 is 6. Sorry, 8 plus 6 is 14. So 12 into 14 is, right, 1,68,000. Okay, so this is 1,68,000. And we have the last scenario for x being equal to 20 and y is equal to 0. Quite simple, 20 into this will be 1,60,000. So which is the best possible scenario? The company manufacturing 12 product of product A and 6 of product B will be the best possible scenario for that company for this particular constraint. Okay, so this is the overall picture of how a company can take a decision, and this is your finding the solution is your syllabus. So there are different ways. One is graphical way, other is substitution, elimination, cross multiplication. Right? This is how everything links.